doubt their knowing. This is the way it has always been, they cry. They lament that they see but one real world while heaven waits just beyond their willingness to proceed. You are the creation like unto your Father, and the family of man is like unto the family of God. Just as children grow and leave their family, separate from their family and begin their own life, so have you done as a part of God's family. In the human family, the separate, and yet a return to the family of origin is also seen as natural. Children go away for time, eager to assert their independence, only later to return. The return is a symbol of maturity, acceptance, and often of forgiveness. What does it mean to believe in God? You recognize that you cannot know God in the same way in which you know another human being, and yet you keep seeking this type of knowing. Even with another human being, knowing what they stand for and what their truth is, what rules they obey, how they think, and how what they think aligns with what they do is the essence of knowing them. God gave you the word to know him by. God gave you the word made flesh as an example to live by, an example of a living God. What more than this is necessary? You seek form when you already have content. Does this make any sense? You read what authors write and feel that you know not only their characters but them as well. Yet you meet an author face to face and you can seldom see in them what you saw in their writing. When you meet an author face to face, you view their form. When you read their words, you view their content. When you quit seeing with the ego's eyes, you quit seeing form and quit searching for it. You begin seeing content. Content is all you have of God. There is no form to see, yet in the content is the form revealed. This is true seeing. For content is all and form is nothing. The content of God is love. Jesus embodied God by embodying love. He came to reverse the way God was thought of, to put an end to seeing God in human terms of vengeance, punishment, and judgment. Jesus did this not only by embodying God in human form, but by giving a true rather than a false picture of power. Before the coming of the Word made flesh, the incarnation, the only idea humankind could draw on an all-powerful being was a being whose power resembled the powerful among them. Jesus took such a stand against those with this kind of power that he was put to death. But Jesus did not advocate for a powerless people. Jesus taught true power, the power of love, a power proven by the resurrection. Jesus, united with the Christ in you, is he who can teach you who you are and how to live as who you are in a new world. He can open heaven to you and walk you through its gates, there to exchange this world at last for your true home. But it is not your body that will pass through heaven's gate, nor your body's eyes that will view the new world you will behold and take with you. To view a physical world of dimension, shape, and scope like unto the old, and hope to transport it from one place to another would be delusional. The new world does not have to do with form, but with content, a content that is as transferable as an author's words upon a page. How many would not travel to heaven if they could get on a bus and be transported there? Yet each of you holds within you the power to reach heaven. Knowing yourself as who you really are is the only thing that will allow you to quit fearing your power. Jesus accepted his power and so brought the power of heaven to earth. This is what the Christ in you can teach you to do. This is miracle mightiness. This is love. This is oneness. The Christ in you teaches only in the sense of imparting knowledge that you already have and once again have access to as you join with your own real self. Once this is accomplished, you are accomplished because you are complete. But if in your joining with Christ is the accomplished and completion of all lessons, who is he who provides the lessons? This is Jesus. The Christ in you is your shared identity. This shared identity made Jesus one with Christ. The two names mean the same thing, as oneness is what was always shared and always will be. You are eternally one with Christ. The only way you can identify Jesus differently is to relate to the Jesus who was a man, the Jesus who existed in history. This is the same way in which you are able to see yourself as man or woman, or as being existing in a particular time in history. This one, or at best three-dimensional nature of your seeing, is the nature of the problem. If you cannot see yourself other than as man or woman living in a particular place in a particular time, you cannot see yourself. Thus, Jesus comes to you again in a way that you can accept to lead you beyond what you can accept to what is true. To tell someone, even a young child, that a caterpillar becomes a butterfly is seemingly unbelievable. This does not make it any less true. The butterfly, although some perceive it as being lovelier to behold, is still the same being as the caterpillar. The caterpillar did not cease to exist. It simply transformed into what it always was. Thus it would seem as if the butterfly is both butterfly and caterpillar, two separate things becoming one. You are well aware of the fact that if you could not see the transformation take place with your own two eyes, you would not believe that the two seemingly disparate creatures were the same. Someone telling you the story of transformation without being able to show you proof that you could see would be accused of making up a fairy tale for your amusement. How many of you see the story of your own self in the same frame of mind? It is a nice fairy tale, an acceptable myth, but until your body's eyes can behold the proof, this is all that will remain. This is the insanity of the nightmare you choose not to awaken from. It is as if you have said, I will not open my eyes until someone proves to me that they will see when they are open. You sit in darkness awaiting proof that only your own light will dispel. Your willingness to learn is evident, or you would not be here. You have been told and told again, and a little willingness is all that is necessary. Why do you seem then to have not advanced, or to have advanced only a little bit, when your willingness is mighty? Only because you have not vanquished the ego. You learn, and then you let the ego come and take all you have learned from you again and still again. It is ingenious in its ways of getting you to turn back again and still again, until you feel as if you're going in and out through a revolving door. You were yourself before you began your learning, and the ego cannot take yourself from you, but only can obscure it. Thus, the teachings you need now are to help you separate the ego from yourself, to help you learn to hear only one voice. This time we take a direct approach, an approach that seems at first to leave behind abstract learning and the complex mechanisms of the mind that so betray you. We take a step away from the intellect, the pride of the ego, and approach this final learning through the realm of the heart. This is why, to end confusion, we call this course a course of love. Introduction. This course was written for the mind, but only to move the mind to appeal to the heart, to move it to listen, to move it to accept confusion, to move it to cease its resistance to mystery, its quest for answers, and to shift its focus to the truth and away from what can be learned only by the mind. What is learned by the mind only rearranges reality. The mind then holds to the new reality as a new set of rules without change. It sees reality through these new mental constructs and calls this way of seeing new. In order to support its new reality, it must insist that others follow these new rules. Truth, it says, has been found, and it is here, in these new rules and not in the old. The mind will then tell you how to feel according to its rules, and will resist all ways of feeling, all ways of being that appear to run counter to these rules, as if it knows, because of these rules, how things are. The mind will speak of love, and yet hold the heart prisoner to its new rules, new laws, and still say, this is right and this is wrong. It will speak of love and not see its intolerance or judgment. It will speak of love to be helpful and with all sincerity, and yet the very logic that it uses, though new, wounds the heart of the most tender, of those most called to love and its sweetness. I am wrong to feel the way I do, the tender-hearted says to herself, and convinced that others know what she does not, covers over her tenderness with protection. You think that in order to share, you must be able to speak the same language, and so you regress to the language of mind with its precision. The mind so hates to be confused, to be open, to remain open and not known. It desires anchors to hold in one spot, and held there suffers the pounding of the sea of change, resists the current, fortifies itself against a storm. The mind will return always to where it feels safe and sure of itself, and so it goes nowhere and sees not transformation or creation, or the new horizon that would define its reality. The mind cannot hold open the doors of the heart, and yet we turn within, turn to the mind, and show it where its openness lies, where sweetness abides, where love's knowing is found. All the mind can do is rearrange reality and hold it still and captive and rule bound. The laws of love are not laws such as these. The laws of love are not rules, facts, or right answers. The laws of love bring spiritual freedom, the freedom that lies beyond belief, beyond thought, beyond adherence to any authority other than one's own heart. The heart is needed to guide the mind in a way that it does not desire to be guided, a way that is one of joining, a way that does not allow the mind's separate stance, its rules, or its right answers. The heart is needed because it is who and where you are, and responds in love to what is one with it. We are one heart. We are one mind. The route to oneness and union, to life and form that accepts oneness and union, to a humanity restored to wholeness, is through the heart of the mind. This course will seem remedial to some, easy to some, complex to some. The mind may say, yes, yes, I know. Tell me something I don't know. The mind may reel at contradictions, cling to known truth, compare this wisdom to other wisdom. The mind will attempt to understand with its own logic and fight the logic of the heart. The mind will seek new rules and perhaps be willing to rearrange its reality once again. The mind is its own reality. You cannot escape the mind's reality with the mind. You cannot learn how to escape the reality of the mind with the mind's pattern of learning or of logic. You cannot live in a new and fresh world and retain the mind's reality. There is no everyone to whom I speak, to whom I give these words. There is no single, no solitary, no separate mind to whom these words are spoken. These words are spoken heart to heart, from one heart to one heart. Everyone is just a concept. These words are given to each one. They are heard only by each alone, by which I mean in the sanctity of the one heart. We are one heart. We are one mind. Joined in wholeheartedness, we are the heaven of the world. We replace bitterness with sweetness. We dwell in the reality of the one heart, creation's birthplace, birthplace of the new. The new is not that which has always existed. It is not that which can be predicted. It is not that which can be formed and held inviolate. The new is creation's unfolding love. The new is love's expression. The new is the true replacement of the false, illusion's demise, joy birthed amongst sorrow. The new is yet to be created, one heart to one heart. This is a course for the heart, the birthplace of the new. A Course of Love, Book 1, Chapter 1, A Course of Love. Every living being has a heart. Let us define heart as the center of being, that place from which all feeling arises. All true feeling is love. All love praises God. All love is recognition of the glory of God and all God created. Love is the only pure response of the created for the Creator, the only response of the Creator to the created. Your recognition of what love is will return to God and yourself. You learned in A Course in Miracles that all knowledge is generalizable. So is all feeling. All feeling results from or lack of love. There are no other reasons for the feelings that you experience. All feelings are generated by the heart and have nothing to do with the body. The heart of the body is the altar at which all your offerings to God are made. All offerings are love or lack of love. Lack of love is nothing. Thus, all offerings made from a place other than love are nothing. All offerings made from a place of fear or guilt are nothing. Love is the condition of your reality. In your human form, your heart must beat for the life of yourself to take place. This is the nature of your reality. Love is as essential to your being as the heart to your body. You would not exist without love. It is there, even if you are as unaware of it as you are of the beating of your heart. A baby is no less alive because it does not realize its heart is beating. You are no less yourself, even though you do not realize that without love, you would not exist. God's only thought is love. It is a thought without limit, endlessly creating. Because of the extension of God's thought of love, you exist. I exist with you in this self-same thought. You do not understand this only because you do not understand the nature of your own thoughts. You have placed them inside your body, conceptualizing them in a form that makes no sense. Yet when you apply your thought to learning, you learn. Let this encourage you. This is an ability we can use together to learn anew. You should be in a hurry only to hear the truth. And of course, all the ways that you act when you want to hurry are backward to what you would achieve. Let your worries come and let your worries go. Remember always that they simply do not matter except in terms of time, and that you will save time by letting them go. Remember that your worries affect nothing. You think if your worries affect time, this is an effect, but time is an illusion. It does not matter. Remind yourself of this as well. This is part of letting go of the old world to make way for the new. Realize these things do not matter and will not be carried with you to the new world, so you might as well let them go now. It is as if you have carried your heavy luggage with you everywhere just in case you might need something. Now you are beginning to trust that you will not need these things you have carried. No heavy coat. For you trust the sun will shine, that warmth will surround you. You are an immigrant coming to a new world with all your possessions in hand. But as you glimpse what was once a distant shore and now is near, you realize none of what you formerly possessed and called your treasures are needed. How silly you feel to have carted them from one place to the next. What a waste of time and energy to have been slowed down by such a heavy burden. What a relief to realize that you need carry it no more. How you wish you would believe they were not needed when you began. How happy you are to leave them behind. You do not realize as yet how heavy was your burden. Had you literally carried a heavy and useless trunk from one world to another when you had been told by someone wiser that it would not be needed, you would, upon realizing the truth, ask yourself what else you'd been told and disregarded. You might try one more thing and then another that you previously would not have tried when you were so convinced that you were right and the other wrong. And as each new step is tried and found to work, your confidence in the wisdom of this teacher would continue to grow. You might consider that you could still learn from your mistakes and find the learning in the end to be the same, and this you surely might do from time to time. But eventually you would realize that it would be quicker and easier to learn without mistakes, and eventually you would realize also that the wisdom of your teacher had become your own. The urge to test another's wisdom is the urge to find your own way and have it be a better way. It is the urge not to trust the teacher in all things, but only in certain things. It is a desire to find your way on your own, so that you can take pride in your accomplishments, as if by following another's map, the sense of accomplishment in your arrival would be diminished. This wanting to do things on your own is a trick of the ego, your pride, a gift the ego demands. These are the magic thoughts that oppose miracle mindedness. These are the thoughts that say, on my own, I am everything, rather than on my own, I am nothing. A true leader follows until she is ready to lead. She does not strike out on her own at the beginning, before she knows the way. There is no shame in learning, no shame in following the course another has put forth. Each true course changes in application. 50 students may sit in a classroom being taught the same lessons, and not one will learn in exactly the same way as another. This is true with the teaching and learning of information, and true with the teaching and learning of the truth as well. The only way that you can fail to learn the truth is to demand to learn it on your own, for on your own it is impossible to learn. Resign as your own teacher. Accept me as your teacher and accept that I will teach you the truth. Find no shame in this. You cannot learn what I would teach without me. You have tried in countless ways and can try still again. But you will not succeed, not because you are not smart enough, not because you will not try hard enough, but because it is impossible. It is impossible to learn anything on your own. Your determination to do so only blocks your learning. It is only through union with me that you learn, because it is only in union with me that you are yourself. All your effort is based on disbelief of this truth, and your attempts to prove that this truth is not the truth. All that this effort brings you is frustration. All your seeming success from this effort brings you pride to offer to your ego. This gift your ego demands is not worth the price you pay. The price of this gift is everything. A teacher always has a role in the learning of the student. This does not diminish the student's achievement. You must realize it is your desire to make of yourself your own creator that has caused all your problems. This is the authority problem. It is pervasive in the life of your physical form and in the life of your mind. It is only your heart that does not consider this an issue of concern. This is another reason we appeal to the heart. The heart cares not where love comes from, only that it comes. This is useful to us in several ways. By this, I do not mean that there are not particular objects of your affection. This is not the love of which we speak. The heart yearns for what is like itself, thus love yearns for love. To think of achieving love on one's own is ludicrous. This is why love is your greatest teacher. To yearn for what is like yourself is to yearn for your creator, and when perception is healed, to create like your creator. This yearning exists naturally within you and cannot be diminished or satiated. Those who are seen as loveless and alone in the world are those you find to be the object of your pity. Yet you do not realize that this is the state your ego has you endlessly striving to achieve. Your ego would have you believe that only when you need no one to achieve all your desire, only when you are satisfied with what you are and with what you can do on your own, only then will your autonomy and your learning be complete. For this is all your learning has been for. The goal of this world is for you to stand on your own, complete within yourself. This goal will never be reached, and only when you give up trying to reach it can you begin to learn anything of value. You are complete only within God, where you endlessly abide. Striving to be that which you can never be is the hell that you have created. Lack of striving is seen as a settling for less. This would be true if what you are striving for had value. To strive mightily for nothing is still to have nothing and to end up with nothing. Striving, however, must be distinguished from struggle. To strive for that which has value is what this course is about. It has nothing to do with struggle. You think also that to leave struggle behind, to disengage from the conflict of this world that causes it, is to turn your back on the real world and all that has meaning in it. In this you think correctly, and yet you do not choose this option, thinking that to do so you turn your back on responsibility and on duty, thus counting this action as a noble one. This desire to engage in struggle has nothing to do with you are responsible for. It is merely your ego's attempt to involve you in distractions that keep you from your real responsibility. Think again about your attraction to struggle. It is your attraction to the game, a game you hope to win, another chance to show your stamina and your strength, your quick wits and your cunning mind. It is another chance to prevail against the odds so stacked against you that you can once again convince yourself that you alone have succeeded against mighty adversaries. It is the only way you see to prove your power and control over a world of chaos. To not engage in the chaos at all is seen not as desirable, but as a sort of abdication, a loss through failure to engage. Although you are well aware you will not win the game you play here, you see the effort to do so, no matter how futile, as being that which makes up your life. To not engage is to not prove your own existence. This is what you have made this world for, to prove your separate existence in a world apart from your Creator. This world does not exist, and you do not exist apart from your Creator. Your yearning for love is what tells this is so, and it is a proof you do not recognize. What would cause you to yearn for love in a loveless world? By what means do you continue to recognize that love is at the heart of all things, even while it is not valued here? Here is a fine example that means and ends are the same. For love is what you are as well as what you strive for. Love is means and end. All the symbols of your physical life reflect a deeper meaning that, while hidden to you, you still know exist. The union of two bodies joined in love create a child. The union of man and woman joined in marriage create oneness. Love is at the heart of all things. How you feel but reflects your decision to accept love or to reject it and choose fear. Both cannot be chosen. All feelings you label joyous or compassionate are of love. All feelings you label painful or angry are of fear. This is all there is. This is the world you make. Love or fear is your reality by your choice. A choice for love creates love. A choice for fear creates fear. What choice do you think has been made to create the world you call your home? This world was created by your choice, and a new world can be created by a new choice. But you must realize that this is all there is. Love or lack of love. Love is all that is real. A choice for love is a choice for heaven. A choice of fear is hell. Neither are a place. They are a further reflection of means and end being the same. They are but a further reflection of your power. Chapter 2. What Love Is. What love is cannot be taught. It cannot be learned, but it can be